This year at the festival This is England, there were 11 short films, and the one with Marine that we prefer was Manmade because he caught our attention. Honestly, I wasn't expecting for something amazing. The directing of this short film blew me away. Really. So, the story is about a young man called Eddie Holgate. He plays football in the club of his town, and his coach is his own father. Eddie's father built Eddie and Eddie's brother to be tough, but because of that, Eddie's father and brother didn't have a good relation. It's quite tense between them. One day, Eddie's father discovers himself that he was very sick and on the verge of the death. So before he died, he asked Eddie and Eddie's brother to not cry, not today, or not even the day of the funeral. Sadly, this day came, and throughout the funeral, Eddie remembered all the good memories he passed with his dad, while people who came were doing a speech. I'm not telling you more, no spoiler, but in my opinion, that's the best short film that I could watch this year at the festival. I was really impressed and caught by the emotion. You know what I mean?
In my opinion, there's three important characters in this short film. First, we have Eddie, the main character. So he's part of the football team of his father, and we can understand throughout the movie that he always tries his best to make his father proud of him, and he also made the promise to not cry at the funeral of Mark because his father asked for. And personally, I really get attached to Eddie because here in this movie, Mark is seen like his example, and it must be very hard for him to lose this part of his life. Then we have Mark. So he's the training football teacher of Eddie's team and also his father. So at first, we might think that he's mean and cruel because he's very strict and harsh with his two sons, especially with the older one and with his football team. But then throughout the movie, we get attached to the character by discovering that he's always here for the person he loves, and he just wants them to be the best, and that he just wants the best for them. And then maybe 2 or 3 minutes after the beginning of the movie, when we learn that he's sick and that he's going to die very soon, it's a huge blown away. Like, we can understand that Mark doesn't show any love affection to his sons, his family, and the football team, but he always supports them, always, even if they get an argument or anything else. But in my opinion, the one who is the most affected by the death of Mark is the older brother. Like, during the whole movie, we can see those two argued a lot. And I think he regrets all these moments, and that he should have taken care of his father while he could take care of him. And at the funeral, we can see that he wrote a poem for him. And I think it was at this moment that I started feeling very bad for him. Like, during the whole movie, he acted and pretended like he didn't care and that he was fine with this. But finally, he's the most affected one. Like, even if he doesn't show it or tell it, he loves his father, and losing him is very, very hard for him.
It was really heart-wrenching to see Eddie running away to keep his promise, the promise that he did to his father, that he will not cry the day of the funeral, etc. And to not cry, and when he couldn't resist it anymore and he cried, I was like, no, don't cry, please. and it was so heartbreaking and emotional. I didn't have the word to. I almost teared up. I almost, but like Eddie, I tried to keep it to myself. It was so hard. I cried. I don't know how is it possible, but the director succeeded to put the characters in the well frame so we can feel all the emotion. Personally, I felt what Eddie felt. And when he started to cry, I started to cry too. When he was happy, I was happy. I don't know how is it possible to, but it was so impressive. I I don't have the word to explain it. I am impressed by the acting of the main character too. When he I don't know, when he started to cry, I started to cry too. I was like, oh my god, why am I crying? But I don't know, I just feel why I just felt sorry what he felt, and wow. And some scenes were really powerful. I don't have the word to, but when Hetty's brother come to see Hetty when he started to cry, I was overwhelming. It was overwhelming. I couldn't handle it. As a film lover, I can say it. I can say it. It's a pretty remarkable short film. Even without action or suspense, I love it. I just I just love it. That was amazing. It's unique. It was unique. I wow. It was the first one, and that's my favorite one. Really.